And we are going. What is going on with everybody? It is your boy, Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw, rugged. I have a very special person on the other line. I will let the man introduce himself. Who do we have here today?
Hi, everyone. My name is William Banks, and I'm so happy today to be on the show and share talking to you and everyone else.
Hey, man.
I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you for coming through, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I started the day off by going to Pando's Cafe and Creperie in Crown Heights, where I get to work there, and they give me discounts on all the food. So I started my day going to Pando's, and they had excellent food and coffee, and I had an acai bowl.
Is it like a vegan's like spot or what type of?
It's like coffee, and they do crepes and also empanadas because they're Peruvian food.
Got you. Well, I just want to say this. I've been like saying for a minute, like I want to interview because I've been interviewing a lot of like musical artists as of late, and I was like, I want to interview people that don't do like music. So thank you because you're like kind of like the indirect inspiration to be like, yeah, let me get back to interviewing people outside of like the music bubble. So thank you for saying yes to this. You know.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I think there's also a lot of crossover where, like, some people, their main thing is music and they're just all focused on doing music. They pretty much just do music. But that's not my main focus at all. But I do definitely think that's just such an expression that if you're going to try to do everything a little bit, you have to do some music. So I've been trying to get interested in performing in music because I can't play any instruments. But I made one song so far and then I've got a couple other songs in the works. So I'm interested in definitely becoming a musician.
You do everything though. You know, like you are the. I might be using this term incorrectly. You're a polymyth. You know what that means?
Polymath, like a multiple myth.
So like a poly, I think I'm saying it right. It's like poly, but it's like spelled math, polymath. But I think it's polymyth. I think that's like somebody who
Polymath.
does like everything. Like they've mastered it all. They have like they're jack of all trades essentially. I think that's what that word means. But you are one of those type of people because there's like I feel like I've seen you do you've done like short films, you've acted, you've done stand up comedy, you're doing music, you're about to go to Argentina to open up a can of whoop ass. Like you literally do like every
Yes.
single thing. Is there one thing that you feel like is out of your realm? That's an art form or whatever that you're like, I'm not doing that
Um,
though.
I guess I would say that I'm not very interested to like go to space. Like that to me feels like a frightening thing. Or like deep diving. I would not go deep into a cave. I would not try to spend a lot of time drowning in water or freezing. I guess I'm interested in avoiding physical danger or something that I feel like would actually kill me from a mistake because I'm very much making accidents and hurting myself a little bit whenever I do things, and I have deteriorating balance from having a surgery on my brainstem when I was a kid. And I don't ride bikes in the city or anything like that because if I make a mistake, I could die. Um, or if I fall down, I die. So I wouldn't go rock climbing.
This is very unwhite of you. I feel like white people are super adventurous. White people love adventures that might kill them. So it's super interesting to hear you say like I'm not fond of adventures that might kill me.
Yeah, I don't want to die. And I make so many mistakes that I'm like, I would definitely fall if I were to be in a dangerous place. Because I fall just walking down the street normally. My feet, like, just, I step sideways and trip, like, constantly. Uh, so I'd be careful about that. Um, Definitely boxing in Argentina, I get to wear a headgear helmet. And I hope that the guy doesn't seriously hurt me, but there's a good chance that it's. I could. I mean, the worst thing I would want is like brain damage or any kind of brain bleeding. Um, because I don't want to have. I don't want my brain to be negatively affected by my activity. So if I boxing is a little dangerous for that, but I'm mostly focusing on defense. Like my upcoming fight with Daddy, I am not trying to knock him out. I'm just going to defend myself and protect myself. And part of that is the offense because that's how you tire him out. So you have to hit him too. But I'm not necessarily trying to knock him out. But I think he wants to knock me out. But I'm going to defend myself.
It's funny you bring up defense. 'Cause I was going to ask you, do you think you have quick reflexes?
I would say no. None. I would say I don't. I'm not athletic. I've never done anything with really impressive athletic ability except for some gymnastics.
Can we test something out really quickly? I was not planning to do this, but can we test something out? All right.
Sure.
So this is hard to do because we're on FaceTime. But just
Yeah.
pretend I'm throwing a punch at you right now. So I'm going to throw a
Okay.
punch. So we're boxing, and I'm
Yeah.
going to throw a right hand straight. What are you doing? What's your
I
okay?
think
Okay, that's your
I think
reaction.
I'm supposed to. I'm gonna go that way, or wait. Do I? Which way do I? I think I go this. I think I dodge towards it with like. I took like a couple of classes, so
Okay,
then
okay.
I
So you're
hold it
doing
like
that.
this.
So let's say if I come
Yeah.
back, and let's say if I hit you with an uppercut, and I'm
I would say something that I might if I would like lean into it. I've been doing a lot of like
you're gonna get knocked
I
out,
don't know.
William.
I
You're gonna get
feel
knocked
like
out if you lean into that uppercut. You're gonna die.
oh man, yeah, because he's strong. But the hope is that I would have to use a mind game primarily on him to lower his morale and weaken his spirit to want to fight. But people say that he's crazy. This guy that I'm fighting in Argentina. Um, but we'll. See, I hope it. I hope it happens.
Are you when you say you're trying to use mind games? Are you using mind games mid fight? Is this pre fight? Like when do the mind games come into play?
Well, I guess the more people get tired, the less that they're able to actually focus. So the main thing is always to try to get your opponent to be tired. Um, but one guy I was talking to who I just was fighting a guy in the street, and a guy walked by walking his dog and started watching. I was like, man, that takes me back to my days when I was 19. I was a fighter. And then he was like telling us his life story and was giving like the advice of like, you gotta go like, I think this was either Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather's like thing, like hitting low, low, low with the left and getting them to defend, and then hitting them with the right hook, like get their body, then defending themselves, and then they open up their head. So I guess it's just like thinking of strategies like that where it's you get them thinking one way by like patterns and stuff, and your energy and how you are behaving makes them have judgments or assumptions on what you are doing. So you could like pretend or act a certain way, and then like if I act like tired, like hurt, and I'm like I could throw a fit or be like and then he's like caught off guard because I'm acting like stupid, and then I hit him in the neck or something. Like that's good. That is not the traditional way to play, but that might be the only way that I have a chance of winning.
Well, it's two things. One, we had a brief conversation on the phone a few days ago setting this up, and I asked did you
Yeah.
watch wrestling, funny enough. And what you're
Yeah.
saying, that's like some wrestling stuff, like it's going to be like I'm going to like pretend to be hurt so to like lure the opponent and then attack him or whatever. It might work. I've never seen it in boxing, but it might work. And
Yeah, because it could work because it's not as expected,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
In
yeah.
wrestling, it's expected. Well, also, they're not really wrestling like that. This would be a real fight compared to that, but not expected for maybe me to be weird.
Yeah. And I'm no professional boxer, but if I had to give any advice, I do think what you said is really good. How often do you see like a street fight and somebody punches the person like in the stomach? It's always headshots. They're always punching each other, they're aiming for the head. But the stomach in
Yeah.
like that area is always like easily available. And like that those shots can really mess somebody up.
Especially your knockout zone is here, but also if you hit right on the sternum is
Yeah.
a knockout zone. You know, it's like you lose your breath. Uh, yeah. I mean, it's like playing like it's like sort of feels like playing a fighting game because it's like so you got moves and like stuff. Although but actually you get it's not as much of a game, but it is something that's like now that I've started doing it, it makes me want to try it again. Um, I'm very excited to fight Daddy in 6 days. I'm supposed to be ready.
So with that fight coming up, that's where's that going to be at?
Herbert Von King Park in Brooklyn. It's on Juneteenth, and there's also another event that I saw a billboard for that's like noon to 10 that day. And I'm wondering if I should reach out and be like, hey, do you want to like incorporate this into your program at all, or should we do this like on the side in the grass, or like just like because I know the guy who's running it, so it's like I should probably coordinate, but I don't exactly know how to approach it.
What's that event?
What's what?
The other event that's happening from 10 to 12.
Oh, it's just like a sort of not mayoral. It's just like a government positive, like Juneteenth, like celebration and like speeches. I think.
I think you should try it. See, like, hey, we have like an exhibition coming up. People love boxing, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think you should try it. It
Yeah.
would be terrible if you knocked Daddy out on Juneteenth at that event, though. Not gonna lie, maybe a
Of
riot.
course, of course. Yeah, I don't think that would be possible at all. He's much stronger than we've sparred, and he is like extremely better than me. So, or just like he's stronger and taller, so his reach is better. And he also moves like and like steps back, and I'm kind of just standing there like moving like a heavy juggernaut or something, and he's like fast and going around. It's like I could barely even like reach him, and he was hitting on me. So I'm like, it's probably going to be a situation where that would be an impossible outcome.
Protect your head, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Protect your head, man.
We're gonna wear helmets too.
All right, but you're not. But is the other guy wearing a helmet in Argentina, or just you? Is he wearing protective headgear, rather?
Yeah,
Got you. Hey,
yeah.
fuck him up.
I will try. I'm
Oh,
mostly gonna, yeah. The plan is the final fight I would love to win in Argentina is like I think it would be great to, because then it's in December 13th, and then if I win, I could stay in Argentina for Christmas and be a hero.
you're the Argentinian hero.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, yeah, I am like the outsider though. It's an Argentinian event, and I think maybe one of the only Americans that are coming. So it might be a similar situation where like nobody wants to see me actually win because I'm the American coming in.
But Argentina has a fond history of helping white foreigners, so you might be good.
Oh really?
Yeah, they helped
Okay.
Hitler.
Well, fuck.
No, that should be interesting though. I can't wait to watch that. I definitely will watch that. But no, let's. You had no idea where I was going. That was the funniest part. You're like, really? That's white people. But no, I do want to talk about how we got here today because I know we're probably going to talk about it later, but I want to talk about it now because shout out to him. So I think you'll probably do a
Yeah.
better job because you know more than me, obviously. So how did this interview even get set up?
Um, through Ryan, my roommate Ryan Smith, who you know him and he knows me, and he said that he like showed me your interviews and was like, you got to talk to this guy, and I was like, okay, and I just like trust his opinion, and I think he's always right. He booked 454 for my welcome home party in a few months ago, and that was a really exciting thing. I like his music a lot, but Ryan like showed me his music initially, so Ryan tends to have pretty good taste. That he's coming on my pool party tour with me. As I'm going to travel across the South and have different pool parties, and he's coming to help sort of be. Well, one place recommended that we have a security guard, and we're like, you could hire our security guard for $150. And Ryan and I were already talking about him coming, so I was like, this is the same cost as hiring their security guard would be to buy Ryan's plane ticket, and then it would be Ryan as our security guard instead of their friend, and that made sense.
Is Ryan security guard? Ryan shutting shit down. He's not
Yeah,
playing around.
he can be tough. He's not afraid to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. He was just on the phone with the USPS today, and he didn't like what they were saying. He was like, bro, chill, chill, chill. I'm sorry, I'm mad, but like, chill. And he, he was just like snapped on someone on the phone, which shows that he has like a dog that can bark within him.
Yeah. Wait. So before we get to the pool parties and more about Ryan, how do you deal with poor customer service?
I'm pretty passive. Today I had a negative interaction at the USPS as well. We both went to the post office and had problems because he's been getting packages stolen, and I'm trying to mail out packages. And then the person who was at the counter was like, "You can only." She has talked to me before and doesn't like that I bring a lot of packages. And then I've like, so I only bring like 10 a day. But then she was like, you can only do 3 a day, or like 3 at a time. And I was asking if I could just get back in line and then do 3 more, and just like, I was like, I'll wait, but like, can I do 3 and 3 and 3? And she was like, no, it's only 3 a day. But then the other person working next to her was like, I'll I'll do it because it's okay to do 10 packages. And then she helped me do all the packages.
So was the first lady just kind of being difficult? Because why did it go to 3 to 10?
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know. Yeah, she didn't want to scan the packages because it was like, she said that it was annoying on the like computer system and the printer. And I, so I dealt with that by being like, that's okay. Can I do it again? Like, I wasn't like, come on, you have to do it. I was just like, okay, I accept that if that's your decision, but I need to do all these packages, so I'm gonna find a way that like I can get these packages out. So I was just gonna go back in line.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other employee helped me.
So I also too suck. That's why I asked. I'm not the best at dealing with like bad customer service. I will low key just get defeated and just be like, all right, well, you won, you got it. Like I don't really feel like arguing. And one of the
Yeah.
funniest things I've ever heard somebody tell me is that if you're ever having customer service problem, give the phone if you're on the phone with them, give the phone to a black woman, and you will be okay. And I'll tell a story somebody told me. This is my friend said he was at work. He's arguing with Comcast Xfinity for his Wi-Fi. The prices is crazy, whatever. So this woman, black woman, hears him at work, and she's like, "What's going on?" He tells her. She said, "Give me the phone." He said he don't know what she said because he walked away for a minute, and he said after they got off the phone, he had 6 months of free Wi-Fi from Xfinity. I was like, that's insane, and I know exactly what he means because growing up with my mother, let us go to like McDonald's or something, and they get the order wrong. She will make up like the craziest story and the biggest lie, and we will literally like the next 3 times we go to McDonald's, everything's free, and I'm just like, this is amazing. I can never do this. I don't have the confidence to do this at all.
Yeah, because the worst thing is to like go really hard with a big demand like that, and then you get denied, and you're just like, all right, like I'm like blowing up, and I get nothing for it. But having the confidence, if every time it kind of works, then you're like, okay, this works. This is like I'm good at this. So I would feel like I would just make myself look bad, and then nothing comes of it.
No, I'm same way. Do you feel like you approach most things with confidence?
um, yeah, I would say I approach most things with just manifesting. Like the pool party, I started it with just two pools.
Mm.
And then I chose other cities that I thought that it would work out to get pools in. And then two of the pools have come so far, and we're waiting on the final and fifth pool.
That's gonna be
So
fun.
I entered that with confidence, being like, I want to have this American tour pool party, summer tour. And it kind of manifested. So I think that more people could just sort of manifest what they want to do by announcing it, and then just like that's what my life is, and then it maybe becomes that. Unless it's a really difficult thing like exercising, because I tried to do that with wrestling, and then I'm like, okay, I'm a wrestler, so now I'm gonna get fit. But I find that it's hard to want to go on a run because I don't like necessarily how it feels to run.
So, wait, when you're becoming a wrestler one time?
Sorry, I meant the word boxer.
Oh,
We had just said
yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
earlier.
got you. So that's interesting that you see something like what do you call it? Exercising is like not easy. Is it because it's so like draining, or is it just you're not motivated to do it? Like, what about it makes it not easy?
Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just like it doesn't feel good. It does feel good, but like to start it, it's like maybe I'm tired or I feel stressed or anxious about like actual like doing things, productivity work that I'm supposed to do, but then I end up spending that time not even doing it, just thinking about it. So I'm like, definitely that's not an excuse, but in my head I'm like, I shouldn't go run. I should like do something. But here's the deal with it. I have been doing push-ups,
Mm.
which is like something I just do right here at home, and I do like 15 push-ups at a time. And the other day I did 15 push-ups in the morning and then 15 push-ups at night. So now I've really been like understanding how to get a little bit stronger. And I had an acai bowl from Pandas this morning.
Look at you, man. That's progress right there, man. That's
Thank you.
progress. That's real progress. I feel like a lot of people like
Thank you.
you may think of that and be like, I'm not doing anything, but like you went from I'm not doing any of this to I'm doing something. That's good.
How about you? What do you do a lot of exercising?
Bro, I'm so out of shape. Like I used to be super duper skinny, and I feel like I put on like a few pounds. I'm not like obese or anything, but I'm like putting on pounds. And I'm like I need to get rid of this, but I haven't been exercising, and I need to start back this one. It's like a warm up. I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube. It's called the Chloe Ting ab workout, and it's this tiny Asian woman working her ass off. She's going crazy for 10 minutes, and you just do it with her for 10 minutes, and that's like a warm up. And the warm up is going to get you gassed out. But if you have
Okay.
enough energy to do something after that, it's a good warm up. It's a 10-minute ab workout. So you're doing planks, you're doing just things focusing on abs, sit ups, and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I'll send you that. It's a good, it gets you going.
I would like that. I need to. I feel like I like to be get going. On my own, I'm like, no. There's so like smoking weed too. Unfortunately, it makes me like not do that. But if you it was like a video that got me going, and I'm like, turn on the video, time to go. That would be. I would really appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna write that down so I don't forget to send you that freaking Chloe
Thank you.
team.
Thank you.
Are there do you think there are things that are going on in your life that you indulge in that are like unhealthy that you need to break? Like I don't know if you're like drinking or smoking cigs or something that's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, drinking. I don't like drink too much. I don't like drink home alone ever. But when I go out, I often have a drink socially, especially performing or something. But I don't smoke cigarettes. Except my roommate Ryan has been putting too much tobacco in all of the joints that he rolls for us. And it's been something that's caused some like tension in the house because some of us are trying to not smoke tobacco. Me and Will Duncan. However, him and Peter are okay with smoking on this, so he just won't stop. It certainly is okay, but I don't like to smoke it as much because I'm worried about getting lung cancer.
Mm. I feel you. I mean, and then you have somebody like Ryan who apparently has a little bit dog in him, so you probably don't want to tell him to stop because it's like he might body slam me if I tell him to stop. You know?
He has smacked me.
Yeah, exactly.
He has smacked me hard.
This nigga Ryan is abusive. What the fuck?
Yo, one time I tried to get us to go to Applebee's because they had a new Mountain Dew, and we like walked in the door, and he said, "I don't like this place," and I said, "I want to stay," and then he like reached across the table and like smacked me and said, "We're going." Did I do that? It's crazy, right?
I did that.
That's why he's gonna be the security guard
I
at
see. Goodness
the pool party
gracious.
tour.
Gosh, man, I thought Ryan. That is hilarious.
What up, Eric?
Scary.
Hey, wait.
Also, this is the Spencer McMullen.
That's
shirt right here.
crazy. I was gonna say, wait, is that what I think
Which-
it is?
Definitely, you put me on to his artwork, so
I have to send
that's
it.
many things.
Wait, can we get you fully in the camera? I gotta send him a
This is the
screenshot of
crazy-
this.
This is the crazy custom one he made with like drawings all over it.
That is
On the back,
insane.
it says, "If you ain't been to the Kentucky Derby, you ain't shit."
He
One
is
of my
going.
favorite shirts.
He is going to laugh so hard when I send him this. He's not going to expect me to interview somebody with one of his shirts. That's fire,
What up,
man.
Spencer?
That is so hard. Are you familiar with Spencer William?
Just through this shirt.
He's super cool, man. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, he's the guy. Well, that's
It
hard.
is a great shirt. It's.
He's like a visual artist. He's crazy. That's hard. Can I see your shirt? I like your shirt too.
All right, well, enjoy your interview. I'm heading out.
Yeah, let me see your shirt too. Will.
Mine says, Christian attitudes are contagious.
Is yours,
Is yours
worth
worth
catching?
catching?
Sorry, where'd you get that from?
eBay.
That's hard. And I'm a sucker for a good shirt. It's a good neck on that thing too.
Yeah, it's tighter. It's nice around the neck. Yeah, I was giving it as a gift.
That's hard. No, I like that shirt a lot. And I always do this when I interview somebody with books behind them. Are any of those your books?
Yeah, some of them are.
Pick out a good one.
Okay. This is. Whoa. This is someone gave this to me as a gift. It's called Car World, and it's got a picture of a car driving fast. And when I made a Twitter account, I used this picture of Car World from Google Images initially, and had this my profile picture. And someone found it in a thrift store and gave it to me, and then they wrote me a note on the inside. They mailed it to me from like Canada, and then they sent it to me and wrote me this note. And it says, "You don't owe me nothing, William. Just keep teaching the truth. Save a seat for me if I'm ever in New York. Love from Canada. I want to have sex with you, Lindsay." This is in pencils so you can erase it. Cool feature of pencils. I'm trying to bring back.
All right. Shout out to Lindsay. Have you ever met Lindsay?
No, I have no idea who it is. But Lindsay from Canada said that she wants to have sex with me and gave me the Car World book. So this is certainly an interesting possession that I keep on to.
Is this the first ever stranger that you don't know has ever just said, "I want to have sex with you"?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I've received messages like that some, but this might be the first. And the first time that they sent me something in the mail that is almost like a letter saying that they want to have sex with me. Never before have I had that happen. But I very much appreciated the gesture, and it made me feel like I was onto something good if I was sort of causing people to want to have sex with me from just like never even knowing me.
Yeah. Is this where Car World came from, or is this just a coincidence?
No, this is just a coincidence that it is. Car World came from the planet, but this is the Google image of this cover is what I initially found when I made like a Twitter account for the first time, and then she found it in the thrift store and then gave it to me. And she happened. I don't think she's a member of Car World.
Got you. So Car World could sue Car World because it sounds like it's a little bit copyright infringement.
Yeah, there's also like a car dealership, I think in Southern California or Arizona or something, that's called Car World.
And none of them have paid
But
respect to the OG Car World.
yeah, no, I'm not really in any kind of legal conversations with any of these companies.
It's crazy. I feel like so it's funny, speaking of legal conversations, the first time I seen you was with the jail setup, but it was slightly before you did it. I don't know when or how I found your page, but it was on Twitter, and it was slightly before like everything happened. I don't know if I seen like one of your YouTube videos, but I saw something, and I followed it all the way through. I showed so many people, and I remember like when you were first doing it, it was getting a decent amount of views, but it wasn't getting crazy amount of views. Like, cause it started getting millions type of views. Like, I'm correct. Like when you first started doing it, it wasn't getting a million views off top on Twitter, was it?
No.
Yeah, I remember. So I remember sending it to people like, "Yo, you have to watch this. I think this guy's in jail with a phone, like going insane right now." And I sent it to so many
Yeah.
different people, and just following it all from the breakout. That was the way that was shot. That I'm not being funny. That could have been like an Oscar award winning like scene right there. Like you
To
escaping
escape.
from the prison. Everybody. It's like it was almost like the moment where like everybody is joyous. It's like, oh, we did it. I don't know if you ever seen what's the movie
Yeah.
called? The one it's like the ones over the cuckoo's nest or something like that. It's the Jack Nicholson movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and they escape
I've seen that.
and they escape from prison somewhat. Like another guy on the or they just walked out the jail and stole the bus, and it was like that scene where it's like, yo, they've broke free and they're finna like have some fun. So I don't know. That was it was like it's supposed to be kind of comedic or kind of interesting, but I was like, it's actually kind of touched me. This is I don't know why people breaking that
Was
joke kind of touched me, but it was really good. Man. I really enjoyed
it's
that
the
entire
but
thing.
yeah, I mean I want a happy endings ultimately, you know? Or it's like I want good things. I don't want to put like negativity into the world at all. You know, like if because in my life I want to escape from jail. So it's like even though I acted like I escaped from jail, I want to that's something I do want to do. So I wouldn't want to pretend to do something that I don't want to be. I would prefer to pretend to be someone who I do want to be, even though I do make mistakes and I have many flaws, and it's okay for me to do pretend bad things sometimes, as long as I'm still myself and I still care about improving and learning lessons from my mistakes.
No, I feel like you're like I don't know. I could see you being somebody who's like very inspirational to people because you have a very redeemable type of not redeem like you freaking killed somebody, but I'm just saying like you have like a thing where it's like, yeah, this guy does things that are like pretty positive and like leaves a good impact. Like you're a funny guy, you're a giving guy. Like the whole Gaza thing, I thought that was a really nice gesture because let's be honest, how many people are scamming for $50,000 and giving it away? Most people are keeping that
Yeah.
money. So I think you have a lot of redeeming qualities about you, and I feel like that's I don't know. A lot of people who get fame from the internet don't. A lot of people are just bad people. So salute to you, man, for striving to be a good person.
Thank you. Yeah. I feel like uh, I definitely think I have a lot of faith in God and like spirituality, and I think I feel like my life has purpose, or
Yeah.
like I'm searching for the purpose of my life, and I definitely in sensing that path, I know it's towards like being a good person versus like not thinking about it or not caring and becoming a bad person. Um, so that feels connected to everything I want to be as a good person.
Got you. No, is there something that you've, I don't know, was there like a tipping point in life where you started to have that type of ideology on just striving to be a good person?
Um, I would say when I was locked in the freezer would be kind of the primary point in my life that diverged. Um, because that's when I had contemplated myself dying when I had cancer as a child and afterwards like dealing with the health problems and when I totaled my car and I crashed it and I was like, oh yeah, like if I was in the passenger seat, that side was caved in and would have died. And thinking about all that, but then like I was younger, very younger like teenager at the time. So when I was locked in the freezer, it was the first time as an adult I really thought like I am going to die. This is my death. How do I want to do this? Or how like okay, this is my last moments. Like what is happening to me? And then when I was saved by the firefighters, I was like I feel like I was like, okay, I'm alive and I've like lived throughout these experiences. Let me make it be worth it, or like let me give back to beyond myself as much as I can with like inspiring people and making people feel like brave enough to be themselves.
Got you. Have you like growing up, like high school, middle school? Do you feel like you're always expressing yourself like to who you were, or were you kind of like concealing who you were?
Um, well, in high school, I think, concealing who I was a lot because people called me the nickname Slick, freshman through senior year, based on like the name Slick Willie because they were making fun of me because I was clumsy because I accidentally knocked down like a can of red paint all over the theater stage and it sort of like ruined the stage and then I had to like spend the entire day getting called out of all my classes to like scrub the floor and try to clean it. And from then people started calling me that and I was kind of stupid. Like I was smart in the sense that I did good on my tests and grades, but I like acted sort of like a joke kind of because it was fun of uh, um like I would drive my car just sort of dangerously, but like not in a bad way, but in like it was dangerous for me to drive the car because I was like not very good at doing it. I would like make choices that were like not a smart driver because I was so locked into this mindset of like making making the driving go like woo, but like safe. But you know what I mean?
I don't know why the sound woo that you're doing in the car,
Yeah.
but no, that's interesting though. It's like you are and you have like videos from that time period. Because what year did you graduate high school?
2017.
So yeah, you have videos from
No,
like,
no, no, 2013.
okay. I was about to say you graduated 2017, but
No,
yeah,
2017 was college.
got you. So in 2013, you have videos like from 2013 of you like doing things, or even how old were you in the Harry Potter video? Are you 14? How old are you?
I think I'm 13 or I think I'm 13.
13. So like you've been documenting. You're like, I don't know. People can see you grow up on the internet, which I think is interesting. Were you always into like just documenting things the way like, because that doesn't seem to be a new thing, if you documenting experiences, and rather if it's a film you're doing, like you seem to love to document things since a kid.
Yeah, I have I have definitely like videos. I like archiving things. I feel I have like kind of an OCD latch onto collecting things or like archiving having all of my things in one place. So I think the internet, I like it is like a public record. So I don't, even if the video is not good or not funny or something, if I made it at a time when at the time I liked it or at the time I was proud of it, and it's just like I've grown or something, my tastes have changed, I still like having that record show who I am.
Yeah. What'd you go to college for?
Dramatic writing, like writing for a movie
Got you, got you. Oh, and you went to what college?
at NYU.
NYU. Oh, so you're like an artsy fartsy guy for real, for real. That's like the artsy fartsy school, right?
Yeah, well, there was like the acting program. I would say would be like what you're imagining of like that vibe. The writing program was more like, I feel like at the time there was kind of a vibe of like the Brooklyn hipster, because that was like 2013. I started college in 2013 to like 2017, so that was the time when people would wear like maybe like brown petticoats and like smoke cigarettes and be like, and people are young, like 18, and I think like a lot of people think of themselves as like a writer, and they're like Ernest Hemingway or something, or like there's this or like uh Hunter S. Thompson or something, or like these writers that are just sort of like badass or something in their craft. And I think it was like 18-year-olds kind of like trying to emulate that energy. Not everyone, but just like a few. That was kind of like the version of artsy fartsy that was in that program, compared to like acting is maybe more like dramatic or something.
So maybe you would disagree, but as somebody who likes film,
Yeah.
I like film. I watch it all the time. I sometimes interact with other people who like film. Film fans seem to be the most pretentious group of people on earth.
Film
If you
fans.
agree with people who like love film, they're like super duper pretentious. If you agree, why do you think that?
Uh-huh.
Why do you think so?
Well, I mean, that was a lot of people too at the school. You know, for the film program was also a big thing that I wasn't in, but I was like around a lot of that vibe. I think it's just like people want to be like the most sophisticatedly correct, or like it's a status or affirming that yes they are in the right place, especially at that age like 18 to 20. You're just wondering like, am I in the right place, kind of, or like is this right? Am I like, they're finally like questioning like, okay, I went to college here, is this right for me? And
Yeah.
some people are like no and leave, and then some people are like yes. So I think maybe being like a film nerd or like a film buff at that age is sort of more of a contest, and I think that I kind of persists of like people just wanting to be like the most niche or something. Sometimes I don't have very niche taste personally. I think that like popular things are cool.
Mm. Are is it something that you are niche about where you're like, no, I like this underground freaking like whatever better than most mainstream stuff?
Wait, what?
Are you more like, for example, like there's people who like I only listen to like indie punk bands and like that's their thing. Do you have something
Mm-hmm.
where you're super niche about something?
Um, Maybe not. I don't think I'm that deep into anything that I'm like, yeah, it's got like. Mm, no, I mean, I have plans. I don't know what they're called. Um,
No idea what those plants are called behind you.
like yeah, I'm like thinking like, okay, I guess I got a lot of plants, but I'm like, I don't know the different names or types. I don't know how to take care of them. I just water them like every week and a half. Um, I don't think I have
Yeah.
anything I know a lot about, but that's okay.
No, no, and well, you know a lot about writing, I would assume, because would you say that like dramatic writing played a part in you setting up the prison thing?
Um,
Because there are like storylines going on like while you're there. So like, did that play a part, like a huge part in that?
some of it, but I would say more so is actually that's a supplement to it for sure. But like doing improv
Mm.
is helpful because I didn't know exactly what to say, or I didn't have anything written or writing, no writing, except for just the ideas of like who I am and how I can inspire people and be a hero and like go from being nervous and unsure of myself into being confident and happy, which I think everybody should kind of have that arc in their own life if they can. Um, that's not so much writing as just like personally what I want to be, like how I want to express is like going from nervous to happy and overcoming something along the way. That to me feels like the way to live life, and that also aligns with like good stories because it's relatable, because everybody wants to have a life kind of have this trajectory that is positive. But the things that we said were just authentic for the most part because Ant had been to prison before, so he like brought a lot of realism to it and told us like what cookies and chips to get so that it was like real, and said a lot of specific like language about things that were in the jail, that like terms that
Yeah.
hadn't known. So that was just real, and so that was just like being present, going with the flow rather than like writing it. It was just like, we've got 5 hours, let's just be in jail together.
Yeah. Well, follow me here. You said he was like showing what chips to get. Are you a chip guy at all? You like chips?
mm, I eat them, but I don't really seek them out. Like
Okay.
I mean, I like Doritos taste good. I like cheesy chips. Cheesy, like, Ruffles would be good. Barbecue's not my favorite. Sometimes sour cream and onion, but like not always. Salt and vinegar can be good. Sometimes Pringles, I grew up liking Pringles, but they're not the best anymore, I don't think.
Okay. I wanted to share with you some of my favorite chips I found out about.
Okay.
This is a few years ago. My friend was talking about being in high school, and these dudes were eating chips, and it was like, "What chips are these?" He was like, "You don't know about the shebang chips?" I'm like, "No, what are shebang chips?" He was like, "Boy, these prison chips. I had these when I was locked up." First of all, he's like in 10th grade talking about being locked up, which was already insane. He's like, yeah, man, I had these when I was locked up. So me and him would always talk about these chips, and I'm like, I need to try these chips out. Found them on Amazon. The shebang chips are one of the best chips you'll ever have in your life. So if you ever are around shebang chips, they might change your life. I don't know if that was some of the chips that was in the jail, but boy, shebang chips are great.
He recommended those. I think we got them. Maybe we got a different type, but yeah, I want to try some.
Well, he brought up the shebang chips.
We ordered some on Amazon. I can't remember if it's Shebang or another brand. I'm blanking,
They're so good.
but I'll try them.
They're so good.
Chips can be really good. Wait, was your friend, was he actually locked up, or was he just like
No,
making it up?
no. So my friend wasn't locked up, but so when he was at school, the dude who recommended the chips was really locked up.
Oh, okay.
So he was the one that was the jailbird that was like, boy, we eat these all the time in jail. So shout out to him for knowing about the shebang chips.
That's crazy.
But no, I wanted to kind of double back on after you guys broke out, and like you said, I was watching your interview with Andrew, which we'll get into in a few minutes, and you were saying how like a lot of prison bros found you, which I thought was interesting that that demographic flocked to you after that whole situation. Do you have any idea why they did?
Um, just because just like it felt like relatable, or I think reminded people of maybe their own experience being in jail, but with kind of like a positive spin, where it's like you remember like, oh yeah, that was like crazy. Like I think it, even with hard times, there's like a way to like look back at it and not feel bad about it, but think of a positive spin on it. And I think maybe it put that positive, it gave people like a little bit of nostalgia, just because I made it look so like ridiculous, because I'm like a fool getting like beat on and like made fun of and stuff. That is like, I think makes it like kind of feel like a funny version of it, that they are that makes them feel good.
Yeah, and with
That's
that,
how kind of the people who talk to me, I feel like express themselves.
yeah, and with that, you did your own crypto coin. Which what was it called?
There were a couple of them. The first one that someone made for me was Banks Coin, but then they scammed me, and then I learned how to. I had never done it before, but they like crypto people came at me, scammed me, and then I learned kind of what it all was, and then I got did it back at them. Um, it was called. One of them was called White Moses. One of them was called Waluigi. Um, I think that's it. I tried to. We tried. Yeah.
Was the plan from day one to give the money back somewhere, or did that come later?
Well, first we didn't think that there would be any money. It's like once the money started coming in, I was like, because throwing the Israel lawn signs was like the start of the whole story. It seems like that is the core of it. So it should do that. Go back to aiding the cause that this all started with. Um, but at first there was no plan to make any money, so it was like we came up with, oh yeah, we should donate this as it was happening, because suddenly the money just kind of fell into the lap
Yeah,
with the scams.
I probably did a terrible job. I just realized of people watching this, I have no clue who you are. They're like, wait, what is going on here? So I feel like a great quick summary is that you were out somewhere, you saw somebody with Israel signs in their yard, you took them out. Tell me if I'm getting this wrong. You took them out, you threw them away, you got in trouble for it, you got in real legal trouble for it, like actual legal trouble for it. You got arrested for it. You got your mugshot taken for it. I think that was the crime. You got your mugshot taken for it. And with that, you parlayed that into renting out an actual jail and having people that you know play the prisoners, and you kind of made uh, a viral moment or viral moments of you in jail on Twitter with like a very terrible Android. Like I didn't even think they sold phones like that still. And you recorded yourself as you were actually in prison, or like you were actually in jail, and people thought you were actually in jail. And there were scenes of you getting beat up. There were scenes of you like playing cards, just doing all type of crazy stuff. And people got really invested into you. Then you broke out, and you were on the run for a long time. And eventually you kind of told people, hey, this was kind of set up from the beginning. Did I get that correct?
Um, yeah, because I could have kept going on the run forever, but I wanted to go back into base world.
Got you. And it's one thing that we didn't touch on. You are from Car World.
I'm not from Car World. I just went and lived there.
Got you. And for somebody that has no idea what the hell Car World is, what is Car World?
Here's this book that I still have, but it's not. It's just this is just called the book. Um, it's a planet like in another universe where I lived for 10 years, and I came back, but it's something that I put a lot of myself into, but is something that I'm kind of currently on hiatus from because of how it all ended, kind of, and I would like to revisit Car World, but at this time, it's not the right option for me.
How did it end?
It ended with a council collapse where some primary members of the Council of Communications, like our core group, broke up with each other within a few month period. And at that point, there were a few more. There was a concert, a small concert, and a miracle show. Um, a couple miracles with my guardian at the time, but we just kept going a little bit. But it wasn't the same, and there was no heart in it, so I have stopped focusing on talking about Car World at the time. But I know Russell Katz, the director of the movement that we were doing together, he right before our breakup, he was developing a card game, and I think he's still developing that card game. So it was a lot of fun to play, and we all played it together many times.
But that's where you're at with Carwell right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's a lifelong commitment, so it's like it could never be over. There's no over. I have the tattoo on my arm,
Mm.
and then there's 6 others with Carwell tattoos. So it's never over.
Can I get
But
can I get a Carwell tattoo if I want one, or do I have to like be initiated?
you certainly could get one. To become an apostle, it's like there's a little bit more time. It would just be like it wouldn't necessarily. You could get a tattoo, but the specific tattoos here are tap passes,
Yeah.
and the idea is that I would need 12 of them with me to get past the bridge keeper to the bridge to Car World. But there, if we live in different cities and different places, we would have to like become, I think, closer. But I say that, and after the council collapse, I'm not in close proximity to director Russell Katz, which was done to sort of separate our involvement at the time.
Yeah.
And he is the first apostle of Car World, and he has a tab pass of an attendant on his arm. So in that sense, it's like there is this lifelong commitment. It's like I know that there is a lifelong bond between us and all the members, the Council of Communications of Car World. So in that way, it there is still permanence even in the void of connection. And I definitely want to reconcile with all of them, and I would love to eventually finish what we started and go back to Car World. But I know that right now is not the time to do that.
All right, all right. I heard you talk a lot about this on your Channel 5 interview with Andrew a few weeks ago. And very good interview for anybody who hasn't seen that. Explains a lot of things. What you about to say?
Oh, well, I only watched half of it because I was with my roommate who sees me all the time, and he made me turn it off because he was sick of hearing me talk. But I was nervous a little bit, and I wore a comfortable outfit to myself, but people in the comments were making fun of my shirt.
Were they?
Yeah, some people were saying, just like on Instagram, they were saying that it was a pajama shirt, and it wasn't a pajama shirt. It's just a cool shirt that I have. So I guess maybe like it made me think, oh, should I have worn something different? But it's okay. It's the choice that I made, and ultimately I choose to stand by it because it is the path that I am on.
Wait, let
To
me
have worn that.
let me go back and look at the shirt because I don't remember what shirt you had on.
That's because I didn't leave too much of a negative impression.
Yeah, no, I don't remember looking at your shirt and being like, this shit stinks, So that's a good thing. Oh, this shirt.
Yeah.
No, you were swagging.
Swagging?
Yeah, you were swagging.
Nice, cool.
Your swag is that your swag right there? When you what was that right there?
I'm just like swinging my arm around.
Swag on them folks, man. Yeah, Yeah, man, you were
Swag
swagging,
on
man.
them. Bop their heads down.
Exactly. You
All the
bopping and swagging.
haters.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
bopping and
swagging, you're
swagging on
just
them.
bopping people away.
Exactly. Yeah, whoever was hating on your shirt, they don't have any fire clothes. That's all.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Did you enjoy your experience there though?
I did, yeah. I thought that he did a really good job of like doing research about me and leading the conversation well, because we talked for about 2 hours and I think he only cut like 5 or 10 minutes out of it just for like time. But I thought he did a good job of making me continue to talk for so long and everything, and telling about my life. And he did a good job. I think the editor of it, I think his name was Charlie, Will Duncan's friend. I think Charlie Brady is his name. Did a good job of putting clips and stuff from my life on it. And in fact, he put a picture of one of my friends who I said his full name because I'm just like, if I do a big interview, I feel like I should credit like I should say people's full names to like credit them. But I said that he smoked weed with me for the first time, and he made me think that I was an atheist for a few years. So it's like and he's like a school teacher, and he's like, I don't want my kids to find out about that. But then I said his full name, and then the like editor put just like a picture of him from Google, just like a picture of him, just to like expose exactly who this guy, and printed his full name. Just as a joke of like, oh, we're mentioning this guy, but it kind of doxed him. He's like, why did you dox me for smoking weed as a teenager for no reason?
That's hilarious. No, yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. I hope you enjoyed this interview as well.
Yeah.
This was really fun. Um,
I did enjoy it.
and the next thing you have coming up is the boxing match on next Thursday, correct?
Yes. I'm training again on Saturday morning. I'm gonna do the best I can. Gonna get headgear. There's just a lot for me to do to prepare, but I'm like trying to stay on top of it. I'm about to print out the posters,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tape them up a little bit. But I'm gonna have to do that alone. Whoa, actually, I realized maybe I can't do it because Ryan just left,
Hmm.
and Ryan's kind of my key. He's my like key producer right now, so it would I couldn't make the choice of where to put it without him. So maybe I should just sort of wait.
Yeah, just call him after this. See what he has going on. Hopefully he doesn't get mad that
Yeah.
you called him. He's like, "What the fuck do you want?" 'Cause he's like abusive, you know. Ryan's crazy. Then after that, speaking of Ryan, you have the pool parties coming up.
The pool party's coming up. Yeah, I mean, that is the main thing. The fight. I'm not looking forward to that too much because I'm gonna get hurt and like, or hopefully not hurt, but like, I got my glove right here. It's like, whap, 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 whap. That sucks. I just like, do I want this or do I want to swim in the pools? I'd much rather swim around in the pools than like have to stop myself from getting punched in the face. So I'm more looking forward to the pool party, emotionally.
Where y'all going?
We're going to Dallas, Austin, New Orleans, Atlanta, Nashville. And people could message me on the internet, on Instagram or Twitter at William Banks _, and then ask me to get tickets. And I'm selling the tickets for $10, which covers, and it comes with a hot dog. So you get a hot dog with it, and it's like, hopefully that can help us break even.
Shout out to the hot dogs. That's a great choice for like a pool party. That's like a great pool party snack.
Sure. What would you be your favorite activity that you'd like to have at a pool party?
Well, first, I don't like the way you said sure. Are you not a hot dog at a pool party guy? You said it like, I guess.
Well, I did actually, as soon as you said that, it made me think that it wasn't that.
No,
Then I
I'm
thought
being
about,
no.
well, I thought about eating a hot dog, and I was like, visually it fits, but like eating it flavor wise, it's not my favorite. It's not everybody's favorite. So it's like sure, but then I was like thinking about there might be something better. So that's why I asked if you have any ideas of like I want it to be enjoyable.
Yeah. Man. Good hot dog, good music playing, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to a pool party in my life. So I'm trying to
Really,
think.
are you in any of those cities?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, that's pretty close or no?
Uh,
How close is that?
the closest thing to Jacksonville is Atlanta, which is about 6 hours away.
Oof. Yeah, I guess that's far. We're going from New Orleans to Atlanta, which is like a 7 hour drive. So it's like that's not gonna be fun, but that's the longest drive
Are y'all driving
that we
everywhere?
have. Yeah, me and Ryan are gonna fly out to Dallas, and then Nordista Freeze, who's this musician who we're doing it with, who's I really really love him. Uh, when he performs, he like climbs on stuff, and he's always like climbing on the rafters of the thing, and he's like he takes off his clothes and like runs around. He has like underwear on, but he like is a really really rambunctious, high energy performer. So him doing that at a pool party, and he's like climbing stuff around the pool and like jumping off the roof. If that could be an interesting aspect, and he seems perfect for that. But he's driving down in a van, and then we're gonna ride around in the van too.
Got
Yeah.
you. I will say this: the only thing I would add to the pool party, I feel like everybody loves a good like pool volleyball. So if there's like any like balls or
Oh,
anything to add to the.
that's such a good idea. We could come with a ball. Come with a volleyball.
Yeah,
That is a great idea.
yeah. So yeah, that's the only
Wow.
thing I would add right there.
My friend and roommate Will Duncan, who hosts a volleyball tournament in New York City and Brooklyn, he is coming on the first two pools to Dallas and Austin, so he could have volleyball. He could host the volleyball. That is so. Didn't even think of that until you thought of that.
That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Um,
Yeah.
Last thing I do want to ask you before we get out of here because we slightly touched on it on kind of Ron putting you in with artists that he likes. What do you listen to?
Um. I I don't know. I don't necessarily listen to anything consistently. Like my Spotify here, I can pull up my Spotify and see what's most recent. Uh, I listened to the Beach Boys recently
Rest,
because of the death of
yeah,
Brian Wilson.
rest in peace.
Um, Vampire Weekend, I listened to recently. I listened to The Strokes recently, and I listened to Drake recently.
Okay.
I listened to LCD Sound System recently, and I listened to Kanye recently, and I listened to the Rocky soundtrack recently, and Post Malone.
The Rocky soundtrack is a good one.
Yeah.
Is that because you're boxing?
Yeah, that's the main reason. That's the reason.
That's hilarious.
Honestly, the main running song like da 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 that is a great song to run to. I genuinely have listened to that, and that's like the main way.
It's probably one of the best like
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
song. Great
boxing
song.
is a fun thing to do.
Great song. Well, hey,
Never
man.
first time having gloves.
Yeah, I see, man. You're gonna knock somebody out. Be careful with that, man. You're gonna kill somebody with those fists of yours, man. I can't wait. If there's any last words you have for the people out there, man, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just like anybody to look within themselves as much as they can and really be honest with themselves and try to sense the path that you're on. And probably most importantly, if you are an atheist listening to this, try to examine why you are an atheist and ask yourselves those questions earnestly beyond what institutions or cultures that have been controlling have made you feel, because I think that everybody has their own path towards God, and if everybody in the world truly believed in God, it would be a much better place.
Hey man, we gotta do something again. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we gotta do something again.
For
Maybe
sure.
maybe I make myself out to Atlanta or something. We'll see. But for everybody watching, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters are gonna hate, players are gonna play, and you guys holler at your boy.